So you want a 3D printed gun? I'm gonna tell you why that's probably not the best choice. And an 80% is probably a better method. Let's start off with 3D printing in general. I knew nothing about 3D printing, not a thing. Didn't know anything about CAD, didn't know anything about a slicer. I just saw, hey, here's an adventure I can go on and learn something. So I bought myself an Ender 3 off the Amazon for $170. What a steal, one might say. In any event, I got it home, figuring I could just throw a file in this thing, hook some filament up, and bingo bango, I got something to print. Ho ho! Here comes the rabbit hole. So then you need to learn things like what a slicer is. I use Cura, good program. Then you need to understand what Tinkercad is, and then teach yourself CAD. I'm not good at it, but I figured some stuff out. Then if you actually want to get your prints dialed in, you can print cool things like this wonderful little pistol stand. Super cool. This is some of the fun stuff with 3D printing. Your Glock may have a switch, but does it glow in the dark? Now that you get your prints coming out right, you maybe want to dive into something a little more complicated. So this is a fun little gun. This one's reliable, as a 22 can be. Maybe you can see right there, see the star pattern? Here is a 9mm Glock. This one I decided to print in PLA Plus. I've probably put 100 rounds through it, maybe, something like that. And I'll show you something. If you look here, you can see it's starting to layer separate here. Right back at the grip. Not something I defend my life with, just plain as. So that being said, we come to the AR-22. It's just a simple CMMG 22 conversion for an AR with a 5-inch, 4-inch barrel. Can't remember. This is a 5.56 barrel, and then a standard lower parts kit. There you are. You got a 3D printed gun. Inside of this, pretty standard lower parts kit, hammer, trigger, all that stuff. 3D printed. Look at all that. The grip's even 3D printed, and the stand. Upper, 3D printed upper receiver, 3D printed handguard, CMMG bolt carrier group and their charging handle, and a regular 5.56 barrel. The 80% gun. Real simple. You just gotta cut out some plastic here, mill some stuff off the sides, put your lower parts kit in there, and you're good to go. Now with your 3D printed one, to buy the locking blocks and the slides and all that stuff from a special website. So really, by the time you're said and done with this 3D printed gun, you have just as much as you would have into an 80% gun that's going to last way longer and be way more reliable.